Yo, this is Get 'em Tiger, this is eprentes, and this is Tri-Cities Mixtape.
This is Get 'em Tiger with the Tri-Cities Mixtape, and this is our song, Jackie Daytona. He's a normal human bartender.
Welcome to the Tri-Cities Mixtape. Today I have a Tri-Cities band, Get 'em Tiger.
Woo! Yeah! Yo, yo, yo!
All right, now, from my left to right, tell me your name and your role in the band.
My name is Alex, and I play drums.
My name's Sergio, and I play guitar.
My name is Chris. I'm the first Chris in the series of Chris's, and I play guitar. I used to play drums way back when.
My name is also Chris, and I play bass.
Yo, my name is Roberto, and I do vocals.
All right. So why don't we just start with the origin of the band name, and how it got started?
The band name came from a Spider-Man reference, but it was also a band reference to like a band I like called Tiger Trap from Olympia, Washington. So I just thought that would be a nice way to reference that band and also my love for comic books, and that's where the name came from.
And how'd the band get started?
The band got started with me and Sergio, which has been in previous bands before this, several projects. But yeah, we got started with our friend Cal, who no longer lives in this area. He lives in, where did he move?
He moved to Redmond.
We started this project as a 3-piece. There's been like so many different iterations of this band, and we changed our name each time that happened before, so we just decided to continue the name even if there's members coming in and out.
Do you remember some of the earlier names?
So Dolores, Motorcycle Diaries, Blueprint, Appliance Coma. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so yeah, what was the initial inspiration for this band?
I guess we wanted to write, because before, I guess all the other bands were like, we were trying to be more technical and maybe more complicated songs. And then we decided if we were going to keep losing members and bringing in new members, these longer songs were taking too long to teach people these songs. And by the time we got them down, a lot of times this would take up maybe almost half a year to teach these songs. And then they would take off. So we lost another year, and then we were back on ground zero. So the plan was if we just wrote simple 3-chord songs, it wouldn't matter if people kept going because we could teach them the songs in a day.
Right.
So the origin of the band was that was the inspiration, that let's just write really simple 3-chord songs, because all we really wanted to do was just play shows.
Right.
And stuff. And it wasn't until Chris joined us, Miller, our guitar player, but at the time our drummer, when it finally became like an actual real band, because we've been playing for about close to 10 years now. Yeah, close to 10 years. So at that point is when we decided we were going to, because we were only playing acoustic at this time too. When Chris came in, we decided, okay, we're going to plug in and we're actually going to expand our sound and write slightly longer songs. Not too complex, not compared to how it was, but just have a little more feel to it, because we thought it was like, okay, we finally actually have an actual band and we don't have to worry about losing somebody. So that was the inspiration there. And then everybody else came in. Jameson came in for Chris, and Alejandro came in because he found us.
Yeah.
He found us. We never...
I was literally, can I play, please?
You just showed up one day with your sticks in your hands like, y'all need a drummer?
I think I messaged them on Instagram. I was like, hey, can I play?
The funny story behind that is that I get messages from weirdos all the time on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So I'm always like, I block people.
Yeah.
But he messaged me and he was just like, hey, can I play drums? And as soon as I heard that, because we were looking for a drummer, but we never told anybody, because Chris wanted to play guitar and I wanted a second guitar player, but we didn't talk to anybody. So I just blocked this guy because I was like, what the hell? Is like some weirdo. And then a couple weeks, maybe a month actually passed. And then I was just like, I felt bad because I was like, dude, what if he's just being like very sincere?
Right.
So I asked him, hey, can you play, this style of music? And I remember you were very confident. It was just like, I can play anything. And
It's because he's like, can you play the D beat or something
D-beat.
like that? I was like, what?
Yeah, and you were like, I can play anything. It's like,
I can
all
play
right,
anything, bro.
all right, well, come in. And then that's just how it went down.
All right. How did you fall into the band, Chris, number 2?
I was kind of playing around the Tri-Cities with an upright bass, and I had played in like bluegrass and a psychobilly band and stuff. And at the time, they were playing like folk punk type stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think Christoph hit me up first, and he wanted me to come and plunk around. So I brought my upright bass, and we did that for a few years. And then we decided to plug in. And so I had an electric bass too, so I just kind of transitioned into that. So yeah, I've been doing. I think I joined in 2016 or something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been almost 10 years that I've joined up with them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been fun.
So let's go from right to left. Why don't you tell us how you got started in the music?
It's pretty funny, actually. I've always been into music, listening to music. But I moved over here from California, and I met Sergio. Sergio was one of the first people I met here. We started hanging out. We started finding bands. One of the first bands that we found...
No, but like, how did you initially start playing an instrument or get into music? Personally, you, Roberto.
Basically, I told Sergio we should start a band, and he's like, we don't play any instruments.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, let's just do it. And pretty much like a week later, we met. We started playing in a band called Appliance Coma. We wrote songs, and in the second week, our guitar player's little brother Our guitar player at that time was Andrew. His little brother was Brian. He actually reached out to Atomic City Records when they were still up on top of Adventures Underground.
Oh, okay.
And he got us a show. So we didn't know shit about music really, but yeah, we played a show within like 2 to 3 weeks. We booked the show. I can't remember when after that it was booked for, but that's how we started playing music.
Okay. Nice.
I just kind of got into it as like a hobby. A bunch of my friends, like in middle school and the beginning of high school, they all were playing instruments and acoustic guitars and stuff. So I think I got an acoustic guitar for Christmas one year when I was like 13 or 14. And I was just playing kind of as a hobby, kind of like halfway through high school or so. A bunch of my friends were playing in bands and they'd go play at like Atomic City Records, like Robert said, above Sunburst Video or Adventures Underground now. They'd go play there and then eventually moved over to Ray's. And I just thought that was kind of fun and I'd always wanted to play in a band. And so, about 2010, I got into my first band. It was like a little psychobilly surf project, and that's where I got the upright bass thing at. Played in that for a while, and then just kind of bounced between. I played in a couple bluegrass bands and stuff like that, and then eventually made my way over to where I'm at now with Get 'em Tiger.
Right on.
For me, I kind of grew up around it a little bit. My family they don't necessarily play a lot of instruments or anything, but very musical. Like there's always music in the house, and my brother, he started playing guitar pretty young, and so I just kind of picked at things kind of after the fact as he upgraded, and he taught me a lot of like old, like punk rock stuff. And,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He wasn't one of those, hey, don't touch my guitar.
Nah, he was
gone.
cool about it.
Yeah, he actually showed you how to play some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Nice.
And
Shout out to big brothers like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he definitely got me my start, both in kind of the hand-me-down instruments, but also like, he'd sit around and teach me like Pennywise and stuff like that,
nice.
I started in a band like when I was super young at like 13 when I was in like Ellensburg, and I didn't like know anything,
Right.
And I moved up here in high school, and I had kind of put the bass down, and I did like concert music. I played the saxophone for years and
nice.
years. Yeah. Then I started going to shows here locally, kind of around the time that the first iteration of Atomic City Records was starting. I would go to shows at like the Eagles and stuff like that, and they were punk rock shows, and I just kind of did the same thing, hanging up the saxophone, right? Like I was like, why am I playing at like pep rallies? And it's like, this is stupid. Yeah.
This is Get 'em Tiger on Tri-Cities Mixtape, and this is our song Anchor Baby.
They like to tell me how I have to be. I'm the one that has to put up with me, and every day I try to live it righteously. All these thoughts racing up inside of me. Well, I'm not ending this, I'm just starting this. Broken dreams of why they try and work for me, and they're acting like they haven't paid a price. That's just lies, that's just lies. And you'll never be more than an anchor, baby. And you'll never see the way the real works, baby. Want to doubt my family, they're the ones that I see putting up with me. And I see my mother working endlessly, and my sisters having to watch over me. That's enough now, love your doubt now. What I see is them working hard as anyone. That's the people crossing deserts for a better life. That's the people leaving behind a daughter and wife. And you'll never be more than an anchor, baby. And you'll never see the way the real works, baby. Although with little faith they built along their tired house, made with pieces that would scattered and thrown all about, and they began to shout as long as they would crash the waves, and the feet they would balance nonetheless they swayed, and out the fall of leaves they tried to bury me, but then those evil seeds had taken over me, and they were putrid, there was bile all inside of me. I cleaned my wounds and nonetheless they started sludging there. And God forgive me for all those times that my mother cried. Walls went dry, but I promise I'll do better in my other life. And belt fastened on arm, I sit burning spoons, watching black turn to brown. Syringe, suck it up, I wanna be down. In, out, diluted in red. And I've been waiting for the day you don't have to worry. I'm in a hurry and my vision seems it's getting blurry. And now the fall of leaves, they try to bury me. But then those evil seeds had taken over me. And they were putrid, there was bile all inside of me. I tried to clean, but nonetheless they had taken over me. And God forgive me for all those times that my mother cried. Wells went dry, but I promise I'll do better in my other life.
But having a saxophonist in the band, are you guys ever tempted to play Careless Whisper?
I've suggested it multiple times.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
unfortunately he has.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I just, through that community, I connected up with people and started playing at like Atomic and high school. And, you know, the people from those initial projects have been in a bunch of subsequent projects over the years and like still in touch with most of them, and connected up with these guys because I saw some posts on social media and I had known them in passing from seeing them at shows over the years and stuff, and I knew that at the time they were drummerless, and so I was in between stuff, and yeah, jumped on, and we just kind of clicked, stuck with it.
Yeah, I guess my origin of me getting into music, it's all connected to Robert.
Right.
Basically everything is just me and him, kind of.
So you had no guitar, no musical experience?
No, not at all.
Homeboy says, let's start a band.
Literally.
And in 2 weeks you start learning guitar?
I wasn't even playing guitar because I knew I wasn't going to be good enough to play guitar. Mm-hmm. So I got a bass because everybody knows if you're shitty at guitar, you're going to be amazing on bass, which you learn later on. It's not true. But so I learned the bass, and then, you know, there's a bunch of neighborhood kids. Right. They were easy to tag along, and they were like, "Oh yeah, let's start a band," and stuck to it. And then we, like Robert said, like we haven't even played for that long. Maybe a couple weeks later, we had our first show, and it was probably one of the worst shows ever.
Nice.
Our guitar player literally bailed 2 songs into our set, and instead of leaving, he just sat in the crowd and watched us play.
What?
He just left his gear, turned around, and watched. He got into the crowd and turned around and just watched us, and we had to keep going.
Dick move, man.
Yeah. So I feel like that was like the worst you could ever do. So it was only all up from there. I think that's what kept us going, because you can't just get worse. Like it would have been physically impossible for us to get worse. So we just kept at it.
Right on.
So I actually started playing saxophone in elementary.
Oh, we got 2 saxophone players now. Damn.
I was supposed to play saxophone, and
There's no excuse.
This might turn into a ska band real quick.
Sax duel.
but so you know how you're supposed to rent the instruments like they have when you're in elementary, you can go rent them. So I begged my mom, like, please, I need to go, buy the saxophone and rent it. And then once we got there, some kid had switched instruments. So he took the last saxophone that was there. So I was stuck with just snare drum. And then from there, when we got to junior high, they were like, "Oh, we need a drummer. We're gonna play this High School Musical like medley, and we need someone to make beats, And I was one of the only ones that was like, "Yeah, I'm down." But I didn't have a drum set, so I would literally just sit at home and listen to like the track and just pretend like air drum it, and that's basically how I got through it. And then after that, I started playing with my brother Angel, and then my friend Diego and his brother Junior, and we were really like into Red Hot Chili Peppers during that like 2009, I think, was when it was formed. And that's pretty much how I started playing drums. Eventually just playing in Tri-Cities. Around 2015, 2016, I started playing at the Emerald. We would go to the open mics. I don't know why, but we had this thing where we tried to go to every single open mic, like for a month. And I think the host or something got like tired of us because we were always there at all the open mics,
Nice.
But I don't know why we thought it was a good idea. But anyway.
I mean, it's just good. For one, you get better at being on a stage because you can practice guitar in your room all day. You can't practice performing to a crowd. You can only do that in front of a crowd, even if it's an indifferent open mic crowd.
Yeah, that's true. And then from then I was just in various bands, different iterations of me and the bass player, and then eventually Get 'em Tiger. And I'm playing drums for Post Clarity too. At the moment. Yeah.
Can you edit the part when he says Red Hot Chili Peppers and put something cooler? Okay. Cool.
Just put Fugazi instead.
Yeah.
Fugazi.
All right. So, what is lyrically or thematically the inspiration to your songs?
So that's a good question, because at least now I actually think about when I'm writing a song. Before, I was really into I started writing like in high school, and when I was in high school, I thought I was going to be like a poet. So I would just
Wait. Did you try to be a rapper at some point?
I dabbled with it a little bit. I do make hip hop beats and stuff.
Okay.
But I never intended.
So you don't have a digital footprint of your lost rap track somewhere on SoundCloud or YouTube?
No.
Okay.
There might be a reggae track on there somewhere. Where I did.
You aren't singing in a Jamaican accent though, are you?
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna cancel you for cultural appropriation right now.
I hope you can't find it anymore, but yeah, there probably is something like that around there.
Nice.
I thought I was gonna be a poet when I was in high school. I used to smoke a lot of weed. Now,
and he still does, but he also used to.
True. It's been a while. I do love weed still, but I haven't smoked in almost 3 years now. I used to like writing, and to me, writing before was my goal was to be as weird as possible in what I wrote. So I always took just examples stuff like Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, where they would write. So the more far out it was, the more out there it was, the cooler that I thought.
You wrote
it was.
like a white man on drugs?
I guess so. Yeah.
For the 2 examples you gave.
Yeah. So that was my thing, but slowly after eventually breaking down to just a 2-piece, when it was me and Sergio, I realized that people are going to listen more to what you're saying when it's just an acoustic guitar and then vocals. It just stripped down. So that's when I got more into writing things that people can feel. Since then, it's been more about a little bit more coherency, being more coherent with what I'm writing.
Yeah, more intentional.
Yeah, so I feel like people can relate more to the lyrics now than before.
Now, are you writing autobiographically or more creatively, or just whatever you're inspired by the music that you hear?
Yeah, it's still going to be more creative still. There are some instances where definitely things that I go through spill into the lyrics. still using a lot of like metaphors in there.
All right, as far as recorded material, how much do y'all have so far?
So Young America was recorded in like 2014, maybe?
Something like that,
2014, yeah, when we were a two-piece.
So yeah, it was Young America. Then the next one was...
Fuera de Paso, wasn't it?
That was a single. Because,
yeah, that was just...
So that was a single that we wrote because they were doing some kind of compilation, a comp. Because this was in the era where they were making a bunch of comps, especially on like websites and stuff. So we would get like invites. Hey, can you write a song real quick? And, you know, and I just like, and I was like, okay. It's funny because we recorded that song, but we have never performed it live ever. Right? Like it's never been in our set.
It's true.
And then there was another EP. I forget the name of that.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that EP as well. So there's that EP. Then after that is a recording that was made. Half is a recording with Ricardo, and the other half is a recording that was made with our friend Jaime. He used to play drums for a while with us and Get 'em Tiger in a different iteration. So we recorded with him. That album is called...
Is it Checkos Ladder?
Okay, yeah. So the one we were talking about before is called Checkos Ladder.
Yeah, that was the one of the EPs. Yeah, the prior.
And then the other one...
We got a fact checker over here.
Here, I got the fact check right here.
So it goes Young America in 2014. Then that same year, we put out Checkos Ladder. Then 1 year later, we put that single, Fuera de Paso. And then 2021, The Serpientes. Man, we took a long break because we were going back into back. Yeah.
But yeah, it's missing the one with the picture of me and you on your doorstep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. In 2019, we have Waiting for the Day You Don't Have to... What was the name of the rest of that?
Waiting for the Day You Don't Have to Worry.
Yeah.
They're real invested.
The funny part was like, I think that title your idea? Or my idea? Yeah. Yeah, but that's when we were into like writing really long titles.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were either very clever or very funny. Yeah. But then we realized it's really hard to remember, like right now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And now 2025.
And now 2025. We will be at some point. We are done recording the main things, the main tracks. We're going to be working on stuff that's going to be added in, just kind of peppered in. But that will be called, it's an EP called Malditas Melodías. Notice I said that in Spanish. There are a couple tracks that are in Spanish, even on previous stuff. There's been songs that have been written in Spanish.
Now, as the drummer with the Spanish songs, did you make any attempt to go in like a reggaeton sort of direction?
I always try to sneak it in there, but it just falls apart.
You need to coordinate with the bass player. You guys need to lock up and just like backdoor reggaeton.
Yeah, there's definitely some like Latin influence in the beats I play for Malditas Melodías. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, him coming in to play the drums added like a whole new dynamic to it because, like, I can play the drums, but it's all pretty straight. Like it's, you know, I play
more like rock drumming or.
Oh yeah, just D beat over and over again. You know, not a lot of soul in it. I think that you bring a lot of like a lot more interesting dynamics and, you know, a range of percussion versus I'm like, hey, let's just play the same tempo over and over again. You know,
whenever I hear like a guitar riff or they send me a song, I always try to just elevate it, trying to put, you know, interesting patterns or some little cool feel or something, you know, just try to elevate, you know.
Love that.
Yeah.
But no, I've been a fan of your drumming since I remember I saw you at Mushroom Fest or somewhere. I forget what band you were in at the time.
I was in King Akira at the time. It was like kind of proggy.
Yeah. But that and just the stuff you would like post on Instagram.
On Instagram,
I was like, all right, this guy's dope.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I was surprised you weren't in more bands because every good drummer I've met is in at least 3 or 4 bands, and there's 3 or 4 more that want them in their band.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's do another quick drive-by, left to right, of just, for your instrument, a big key inspiration.
Definitely.
Chad Smith, or because of Chili Peppers?
In the beginning, it was Chad Smith. I thought he was the greatest, but then as I got older, and I started
he just loved him more.
Right. Then after I like started listening to like the real shit,
Yeah.
like a lot of the jazz fusion cats, like Gary Novak, any of Chick's drummers, you know, and obviously like the new breed. Like there's this dude that's super dope. His name is Xavier Ware on Instagram. Matt Garska, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah.
Right on. Sergio?
Mostly a lot of stuff from DC and the Discord label. Me and Robert were really into Fugazi in high school. I always loved those Ian McKay and Guy, what was his last name? Vioto. Their like interlocking guitar work, because there's usually in a normal band it's like rhythm and lead, and I always thought that was kind of lame. I liked where they're both leads and they're both rhythm and they kind of interlock.
Oh, right.
And I always been like trying to do that with Chris. That's why I was so happy when he wanted to do guitar, because that means I don't have to like actually like try to shred or anything like that or solo, because then I have somebody there just to write something interesting. So that's the big one. And also I guess right after that it would have been like me and Robert got into Drive-In, which is just the natural progression of that same idea. So Omar Rodriguez and Jim Ward, their guitar playing, same thing, interlocking guitar parts.
Right.
I'm all about that. I love Iron Maiden. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Shredders. I love Megadeth, but I just never want to do that,
Right.
Because it's already been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my main thing.
I also love Shredders, but but I just can't do it. Yeah. So for me, inspiration, I kind of play a little bit of everything, and I think that the varying like instruments kind of influenced each other. Like for drums, really love like Josh Freese, like Vandals, and he just had his stint in Foo Fighters.
Oh, that guy,
yeah, an absolutely prolific drummer. Also Smelly from NoFX, but then that kind of percussive component, just translated to like bass and guitar. Like I really loved Matt Freeman. That's how I learned how to play the bass, playing along to like Rancid and Operation Ivy and stuff, and lots of scale work, but all just kind of learning it by banging your head against the wall and just listening to it over and over again. That kind of ended up being how I played the guitar too, just kind of like a bass, just lots of really percussive, like fills and stuff. It comes across kind of surfy. I do a lot of like drags and like tremolo and stuff, but I don't know that there's really a guitar influence that sticks out, but it definitely would be in that bubble of SoCal punk rock, and it probably like Noodles from The Offspring or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because a lot of that earlier stuff, like he was playing the guitar a lot like a bass, right?
Yeah.
A lot of single string kind of stuff. So,
like I said, I originally started with guitar. I don't remember why exactly I moved into bass. I think I just found a good deal on a bass once and got it. So
good enough reason.
Yeah. I grew up on like listening to punk and ska and that kind of stuff. So like, again, like Matt Freeman was like a big influence. Fat Mike, I was a huge effects fan, so I really liked Fat Mike. And then out of high school, I kind of gravitated more towards or kind of got more into like metal and prog metal. So I was a huge Tool fan, so I like Justin Chancellor. He's a big influence on me and stuff. And I know we sound like a Red Hot Chili Peppers band, but I liked Flea, his kind of style a little bit too. But yeah, all that kind of together kind of influenced how I play my bass. So, and then there's also that psychobilly side, but that's more of a different slap style. Even though I don't do a lot of slapping or anything, but yeah, all those kind of helped me shape the sound that I try to play now. So
also, don't ever write songs where you like have geographical references, then you guys will not beat the Red Hot Chili Peppers allegations. Do not mention Washington or Tri-Cities or Alabama swinging a hammer, none of that.
Yeah,
you just ruined the whole next report. Like it's just all Pacific Northwest.
It's true. Like me and Sergio said before, I wasn't musically involved, and we just decided to go with it. But definitely, Fugazi is always been a main influence. But I think he got it backwards though, because we first heard At the Drive-In before we heard Fugazi.
Okay.
So yeah, we first heard At the Drive-In, and then basically what they said was when they were being interviewed that they just ripped off Fugazi. So that's when we found out about Fugazi and started looking stuff up. Sergio,
At the Drive-In is a great gateway drug.
yeah, exactly.
That's what I associate with you guys from way back when, seeing previous iterations was at the drive-in.
Awesome.
Like it definitely.
Was it just because it was two Latino-looking men playing punk music?
That possibly is. I'm going to be honest because
The glasses too don't help.
one thing that me and Sergio have always noticed is like when we get asked to be on a show, unfortunately a lot of the times it's not something that is close to what we do. It is going to be something where we kind of try to look and see what's going to be the most closest thing to what we are doing. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, what we find a lot is just the fact that there is another person of color in the other band. That's what it seems like. I'm not trying to call it. I'm not saying this like calling somebody out, but a lot of times we don't find like something close to what we are doing. But anyways, at the drive-in in Fugazi is what got us going, and that is definitely what I've always been trying to get my vocal inspiration from.
This is Chris with Get 'Em Tiger on Tri-Cities Mixtape. This is our song Checkos Ladder.
As an authority, shouting minorities, I'm out to fend for what I have left. I'm not a bigot, my feet they pivot in the ground that is not mine. And damn the Pasco cops, they got my brother caught, and now he says fuck my life. I'm in the projects, no way to dodge it. You try to run but it's all around. Thoughts of my city, I'm feeling shitty, and all I can do is hear that sound. And now my block is hot, my best friend Luis got shot. That was the day he lost his life. I decree that life is taking and not giving. Washington's mine, it owes me everything. Ask me why and I'll spit in your eye. Ask me why and I'll die. And damn the Pasco cops, they got my brother caught. And now my block is hot, my best friend Luis got shot. That was the day he lost his life.
All right, we're gonna jump into some fun questions now. We're gonna book a dream gig. You guys are playing at the biggest venue in Tri-Cities, Toyota Center or the Fairgrounds, right? If the Fairgrounds was completely dedicated to one show. Anyway, so you guys are the opening act, and you guys get to pick the middle and the closer, and it could be any band or any act of all time. If you want The Doors and Selena or whatever.
Those Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead or Alive, and if you guys are going to argue amongst yourself, do it into the microphone.
Can we just go with The Doors and Selena? Is that
no? I mean, all right. It doesn't only have to be dead people, though.
Oh, okay.
It'd be cool if it was Santana, but like Woodstock era Santana.
Okay.
young
Like as
Santana.
a headliner. Like the headliner, but that'd be sick. It wouldn't make any sense, but I guess like it'd be, but like, prime era Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
that would be dope.
That would be
I'm
like
all
the
for
sickest
mixed genre
show.
shows. I mean,
That would be the
That
sickest
would
show.
be sick.
Even though they'd be like, why are these guys opening for these? It doesn't even make any sense. But it'll be sick. But it'll be
dream
sick.
show.
It'll be sick.
I would want like the Suicide Machines. I think that the Suicide Machines, musically would make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, and like Propaganda or something. Yeah.
we got any other contenders?
If we're talking about people that are still alive, at the drive-in is going to be headlining. And then,
And Mars Volta's middle.
but I would have to request that they not play any of the new stuff. That it would have to be anything before the latest 2 albums that were made. The second band, man, that's a good one. Since Fugazi's still alive, so then let's just switch it up. We've been talking about Fugazi and at the drive-in the whole time. So Fugazi's gonna headline, and at the drive-in is second.
All right.
We're opening.
Just coming off the top of my head, I always thought it'd be cool. This is 14-year-old me talking, but I thought it'd be cool to open for No Effects, even though they're not playing anymore. But
Yeah, they
that'd
just
be cool.
stopped last year.
So, that'd be cool to open for them. And then I was a big influence when I first started getting into punk was No Doubt. So maybe like Sky or No Doubt.
Yeah.
So I think that, Tragic Kingdom. So I think that'd be kind of a cool show to have them play after. So that's what I'll go with.
I really like Bob Marley as a headliner.
Yeah.
I think I would switch. I don't know. I really like all those options.
Yeah.
They all sound
But it's a
dope.
3-band bill, so we have to commit.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Only if they were playing stuff like pre-2000.
Like Mother's Milk or something.
All right. Well, I don't think there will be a consensus here, so the listeners can decide for themselves what the best version of that show is. Before we started recording, I had every member of Get 'em Tiger fill out some, for lack of a better phrase, a guilty pleasure song. Because I'm 40 years old, I'm 41, and I don't really give a shit about, what people think of my taste in shitty pop music, because I can't argue with my ears. My ears say I love this shit, and as pretentious as I used to be in my 20s and 30s, I let that shit go. So I'm going to read off some songs, and the members of Get 'em Tiger, and you guys listening, can guess which member of Get 'em Tiger chose this as their guilty pleasure song. We're going to start off with a fucking banger, and I'm not guilty about this, but this isn't me. But the song Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Who do we think chose that one?
I totally have a guess. Yeah. It's Sergio for
It's
sure.
Oh, I also forgot to say, play along like it's not you to throw the guys off.
Yeah.
But I guess that was a pretty easy Sergio.
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
got the whole tattoo and
All right, so who chose the band Children of Bottom in the song Warheart?
I'm gonna.
Everybody's
I don't even know who that is.
That's a good cover, if that was you.
Yeah, I think that's gotta.
I
be
think that was
100.
actually Robert.
No.
That was also Chris.
yeah, that was also me. Yeah.
All right, so who chose the song Six Underground by the Sneaker Pimps, which was a banger in the 90s?
Totally not me.
That was Roberto.
You guys got me.
Yeah, that is a Roberto. So who likes the song Panini by Lil Nas X?
It's gotta
That's
be
a
Alejandro.
unanimous.
Yeah.
Why did you guys?
Yeah, he's the youngest guy.
Is Alejandro the youngest in the band? By how much? What are you, like, you in 20s?
I'm 30.
Oh, you're 30, okay.
I'm not that young.
Oh, great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so who chose Kiss Me More by Doja Cat and SZA?
It's
Oh, it's
Alejandro.
not a Roberto.
It's gotta be. It's Alejandro.
Anybody? Wait. It's Alejandro.
Oh dang!
All right.
I was confident on that one too. Like,
Shout out to this pick for not being the obvious Smash Mouth song, but who chose Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth?
Jameson.
I think it was Chris Miller.
Chris Miller?
that tracks, but
Chris Jameson?
I gotta say Jameson.
definitely a Chris.
It's actually Sergio.
Oh wow.
What?
Dude.
I think that's a really good song.
Well,
What's that instrument? It's like the clav,
it's the
yeah.
it's the organ, but
The organ, thank you.
but also that intro is a door song. Like
Oh,
the whole riff is a door song. If you
It's Doors inspired.
So you should feel even double
It's
guilty
no,
now.
It's it's note by note. I'll show you.
All right. Now, who chose the Canadian goddess Alanis Morissette and her song Uninvited?
Chris Miller. I
This
think.
seems like a stumper. Nobody was quick with this one.
Yeah, I have no guess.
Sergio?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
it's
Sergio.
Sergio.
Yeah,
It was Sergio? Oh shit.
All right, yeah, that was awesome. Thank you all for playing. I hope everybody guessed correctly at home if you were playing along. But okay, so what's next for Get 'em Tiger?
Yeah, the EP that we will be dropping. We're happy, definitely to be getting it pressed onto vinyl once we actually get this done and mixed and mastered. So it's been something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. It's we do have a 7-inch, but it's like at least this is going to be an EP, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that's the next step. Hopefully, start playing more shows again because we've been just working on that, kind of focusing on it. So
We got some stuff booked though.
We do have some shows.
We got Battle
We have
Battle
one
Blast.
next
And,
Okay, yeah, right on. Any shout out y'all you guys like to give? Any other bands or venues or girls or whatever?
Let me see here. The Vandells, Post Clarity, JKFC. Thank you for always being an inspiration. No, but I
Yeah.
do love those bands, those local bands. There's a couple other ones. What's that
There's-
band? The one that I always forget their name.
Which one?
You know which? I got the T-shirt.
Oh, Posse.
Posse.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So shout out to Ooze. Shout out to a lot of local people that have been working. Even we have like Stephanie, we have Callie, Justin, Bobby at Ray's Golden Lion. It's been awesome. Them opening back up and having space for us to play.
Anybody else?
Just shout out to my wife and my daughter, Olivia,
Yeah.
and my daughter, Lily, for putting up with me practicing and being really loud in the house.
My girlfriend still likes me, even though I collect action figures. So
She's a keeper.
Thank you.
She's a keeper.
I'd also do shout out to like Atomic City Records and like Isaac for keeping that alive and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's been helping us recording, but even if he wasn't, it's awesome that he still got it going. Also, shout out to Dustin. He's no longer with us, but he did a
R.I.P.
lot. He did a lot for the scene. Yeah.
All right. And lastly, what advice would you give to a bunch of dorks in 8th grade who want to start a band and start gigging?
Don't. Yeah. Find another hobby.
Weigh out the possibilities, but also if you're gonna ask me, you're probably gonna ask the wrong person, because I just told someone to start a band and we did it, even though we didn't know anything. But if you want to do it, just do it.
The piece of advice that I give to everybody who's playing music is to play with people and like
Oh, for sure.
put yourself out there and stuff.
Even shitty people, I've learned a lot from bad players just as much as good players.
Yeah, I have learned so much from like show experience over the years, right?
Oh,
like I don't, I'm not classically trained in any sense of, I'm sure that probably shows, but on the, on the flip side, like I'm always up for, a challenge and putting myself out there and being able to improvise and all that you get from exposure, you get from doing it. You can't learn how to read people and improvise when you're playing, by yourself at your house. Yeah, I've over the years I've jammed with people who are like virtuosos but in their basement.
Right, yeah.
Right. And it's so hard to like work on a creative project when you don't have all of those kind of baked in communication skills and stuff.
Any words of wisdom, Sergio?
Let's see here. No. Yeah, I guess just do it. Honestly, because when me and Robert were doing it, it teaches you how thick skin, that's for sure. Because when we first started, people used to talk so much crap. Like, it was amazing that we didn't like just start crying on stage. It was just like, but we loved it. Yeah, we loved it so much we didn't care. And, and it teaches you just to be yourself, and if you love something, it's worth it. It's worth all the punishment.
Yeah, we were that band where when we start playing, people are gonna walk out.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely us for.
It was
long
the
time.
smoke break time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for sharing your songs and your stories today for the Tri-Cities Mixtape. This is Miguel, and I want to thank Alejandro, Sergio, Chris, and Roberto. Get 'em, Tiger. Thank y'all for being here, and thank y'all for listening. Good night.
Peace.
There's the city and it's overflowing over the temples and abandoned buildings. I see the lines that go out to the soup kitchen. I see the lines that go out to the hospital. All my days I'm just living this way, and if you think that you're better, I got something to say. I get up and go to work every morning. I get up and go to work every day. When there's a long intent because you made it, that's more than just a working in bills. I used to think that there was nothing to fill it with. I used to think that there was nothing to build. All my days I'm just living this way, and if you think that you're better, I got something to say. I get up and go to work every morning. I get up and go to work every day. That's been tucked to a council. I see the lines that go out to the shelters. And if I ask just one thing of the city, that these children have it better ahead. All my days I'm just living this way. And if you think that you're better, I got something to say. I get up and go to work every morning. I get up and go to work every day. If I die without a cause, would this world, would it be at a loss? I'm not the bravest man around. I can't admit when I'm next to the ground. All my days I'm just living this way. And if you think that you're better, I got something to say. I get up and go to work every morning. I get up and go to work every day.